Creative Director here at FSJ, and I'm back in the FSJ video studio to bring you another episode of Tools, Tips, and Techniques. So happy to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're on our Facebook page or watching on YouTube, happy to have you. So today's T3 is what we like to call our Tools, Tips, and Techniques. It's going to first start off really heavy on the tools, so this is going to be kind of fun. And then of course we'll go into some tips and techniques as we go through the demo here. But first I'm going to bring out some tools that I'm going to share with you because they're pretty fun and we're going to have a lot of fun using them today. First we're going to start out with our scoring board. So this is our FSJ scoring board. Really fun. It's got some tools in the back, an envelope and box maker, and then of course the actual tool that does your scoring. So I'll pull that out right now. And then in a few minutes we're going to be using our piercing mat and our cutting mat. So all three of those along with some other miscellaneous tools that I'll get into as we motor along here. But this is going to be kind of a fun little project. This is actually going to be creating a mini book out of one 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So if you are watching this video in the month of September or watching it live, just a little tip for you to know that all of our cardstock, 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11, is on sale right now, 20% off. So super fun. I thought it would be fun to do something with one of these amazing sheets. So we're going to make a mini book. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with one 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and we're going to do a lot of scoring to start out with. So I'm going to move sort of quickly, but take your time when you're doing this and don't let this little scoring scare you. I'm going to score at 3 inches. I'm going to score at 6 inches. Now all of you who know your 3 multipliers, this will be easy. And 9 inches. So we're essentially dividing the cardstock into 4 equal parts. So kind of hard to see the scoring there, but I think you get the idea. I'll quickly do the other way and then I think it'll show up a little bit better. So again, same thing, I just flipped my cardstock 90 degrees and I'm doing 3, 6, and 9 inches. So, kind of check it out. I'll kind of hold it up as an angle here. Try not to move it so Roy can get focused. There we go. Almost like a little quilted pattern. So we basically divided this up into all these tiny little blocks, of which there are 16 blocks, of course, now, 4 by 4. And then we'll set, well, actually I'm going to keep the scoring board here because what's kind of awesome about this is that when I want to come in with my piercing mat, it fits right into the scoring board. So not only can I continue to use the measurements up here if I want to, or if I don't need to, that's fine. It's just a handy place to put your piercing mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our bloom tool, which I have the piercing tip on one end of the bloom tool right here. And I'm going to put some little dots that are going to help me when I go to do my cutting. So my first little dot, I'm going to come down and I'm going to do in one of these corners. This is where the first 3 inch by 3 inch intersects. And don't worry about taking a bunch of measurements. We're going to go ahead and put these up on the blog. Probably sometime early next week, but if you do want to pause this or rewind it or watch it again, I'm doing the next dot here at the second box over, so 6 inches, and then I'm doing another one down here in the opposite corner. So basically I'm doing 2 dots in the 3 inch and 9 inch spot and 1 in the 6 inch, which that'll become a little bit more clear as I do come back to do my cutting. This just gives me a guide of where I want to cut. So I'm going to take the piercing mat away and bring in my cutting mat, which also handily fits right in here on the scoring board. And now I want to bring in my metal ruler and my cutting blade. So this is our cutting knife that has a retractable cutting knife. And you just pop this little guy open like this. Super handy. I don't know if we can try to get in like really close. So there's the little blade. It's super tiny but super effective. And again, just for safety's sake, you always want to keep it closed just by using this little retractable button right here. So I will open it to start out with. And I first want to cut, which is why I put my little dot here. I want to cut along that first score line. So remember it's at 3 inches. But instead of cutting my entire paper, I just want to cut down to that first little mark. So it's essentially a 9 inch cut. So I just kind of line up my ruler here, and then I can cut right along the edge of this ruler. the way down. You may want to go along twice. Just kind of make sure your paper's cutting all the way through. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to press too hard, but you can go in there. Okay, press a little bit harder, Kim. Sometimes it's just this first initial part that needs to be cut a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I was a little bit shy in the very beginning. I can just clean up those tiny little pieces if I need to. So there's my first cut down to my first little piercing mark. Okay? Now I have this mark here, so that means I need to flip my paper and do the same exact thing. I'm still cutting 9 inches. I just need to flip my paper and cut down at the 6-inch score mark. So you can see I have 6 inches here. And then I just go ahead and cut all the way down to this mark. So instead of having you watch me do all of these cuts, I'm going to flip to one that I already have done, just to walk you through it. And again, you can pause this video and check out this cut, because I think this is going to be the most clear way to show you exactly how I cut it. So I'm just going to hold that there for a second in case you want to pause the video later on, screenshot it or whatever. But basically I have 3 9-inch cuts here, right? So I have one along this score line, one along my 6-inch, and then back to the same one over here. Kind of makes a W, right? Woohoo! Oh, that's a good one! W stands for woohoo! We've got a good start on our little mini album right here. All right, so I'm going to set this tool aside. And I'm actually going to switch from, I could use this tool to do my folding, but I am going to go ahead and switch to our normal crease tool because this fits so nicely in my hand and it's got these really nice edges for creasing. So what we're going to do to create our mini album is so fun and so easy, it's almost magical at this point. We're going to go ahead and, because we have all these lines pre-creased, we're just going to go ahead and fold on that creased line. Give it a little crease right there. Flip it over, so I'm doing an accordion fold, right? So I'm going back on itself and back on itself again. Again, I can kind of crease however much I need to as I go along, although the scoring mat does a really good job. You're not going to have to do tons of creasing. But look what I'm doing. It's just like a little track. You're just following along and you're just zigzagging as you go all the way around. Let's see if I can go a little faster. This is where I need Roy to like speed up the video, right? Do we have fast forward? He's like, no, you got to just go fast yourself. Okay, I want to make sure my creases are staying even. And back again. Do you see it coming together? I think you guys are seeing it, right? It's like something's happening. This little mini album is so chunky and fun. And you cannot believe how many pages you can get from one 12 by 12 piece of paper. It's like amazing. We actually demoed this, Nicole demoed this at one of our events back. We kind of figured out it was probably in 2014, one of our events. And we really haven't revisited it since then. So we thought, you know what, it's time to bring an old favorite back. Okay, so check it out. All of a sudden we have changed one 12 by 12 piece of paper into what essentially is a little mini book. Now we need to do a little bit of gluing together of pages, but that's super fun and easy. If you kind of let it go, you can see how it kind of expands like this. So those are the parts we need to glue. It's kind of cute like that though, right? I bet you guys can come up with some amazing ideas of how to use it just like this. But basically we want to glue the front cover down first. I could use either end of my glue. It's kind of fun to use this end of your craft glue, which has the little, I guess I call it the little scrubby end. Totally do that too. It kind of helps you spread your glue out. And again, I won't glue every single page, but enough to get you the idea. So there's our front cover glued. Now this is our next page. So we probably want to glue, I'm gonna actually flip it around this way. Glue the back cover, or what I'm going to turn into my front cover. It really doesn't matter which way your book goes at this point. If you want to start your book out here, you could potentially leave some of these little pockets open so you can stick some little tags or different things in. Or if you started your book this way, it just becomes a little bit more of a traditional book as you turn each page. So again, it really doesn't matter which way you set up your book and which pages you glue together. It's going to be all the fun of creating your own little masterpiece. So super fun. I'm going to show you what I did with the finished book. But this little mini album I decided I wanted to have as like a little birthday book. A little birthday, it could be either a birthday reminder or it could be just a fun thing to capture birthday photos. So I just took all these fun pieces of cardstock and I trimmed them down so they fit inside the pages. I'm actually going to do on the left side of each page. So these are just slightly smaller than the 3 by 3 inch. And on this side I'm going to put a mat where I can add a photo. And again, turn the next page, add a solid color cardstock and a white on this side. And again, as I show you the finished album, I'll show you how all of that came together. But for the title of my little mini album, I went ahead and pulled out one of our fun stamp sets, which is very birthday-ish, Celebration Script, and one of our cute little die cuts for the cover. And on the inside cover, I used this little fun die, which is from our Pocket Cuts die set. I didn't grab the Pocket Cuts here, but it's a great little die and it fits perfectly inside this mini album. So again, that's from the Pocket Cuts die in our memory keeping section. And let me show you the album and then I'll show you what I did with this little guy because this is a fun one too. Pop my glue out of the way. By the way, the Celebration Script has matching die sets, so super easy. But check out this little guy when he's all finished. Oh my gosh, I can hear you out there in video land saying, ooh, ah. So what we did here, this is the Celebration Script title. And this little guy, which is a little homemade rosette, is made out of this Border Essentials die. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? So all we did was basically cut out the border die, and that's this one right here in the end. And then we just went ahead and scored it on the same scoring tool that I just showed you a minute ago, and just did a little accordion fold back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and made this tiny rosette. Isn't that just fun? I won't spend all the time in the world folding it and showing you, but I think you guys can get the idea. It's just one little border strip folded and then glued in place. So you guys want to see the inside? You know you do, of course. So how we actually finished the outside of the album was we went ahead and glued some ribbon on the binding right here, but the rest of the ribbon is pretty loose. So, you know, it comes off the back. So we just glued it here so it stays in place. But check out the inside. Here's my little Pocket Cuts, little journaling piece. So we just added some liquid colors to make a fun little kind of rainbow look there. This I could add some more journaling or I could add a photo here. But here's the little decorations as we go through the book. Again, you can see I've used the solid color cardstock here, and then the white piece here becomes a mat for my little photo. So that's my little niece Myra. And here's a page that's ready for a photo. Again, one of our little fun punches to decorate that page. Here's another one with some stamped numbers. Here's Sophie, and etc., etc. I haven't added all my photos yet. But look at this cute one with the little flowers. Every page is like miniature. Again, it's 3 by 3 inches. So much fun to decorate. Here's a really birthday one. Isn't that just the sweetest thing ever? A little bunch of balloons. A couple of them have journey glaze on them. And again, my white paper waiting for my photo. One of our darling little dies. I think this one's a Bloom Benefit. And again, a couple more decorations. So this one has, I didn't even count the pages yet. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spreads. So 8 pages in this mini book. And remember, it's a 1 12 by 12 piece of paper, guys. Can you believe it? And those little scraps, those little 3-inch, you know, papers inside could easily come out of your scrap drawer and just become the cutest little mini album ever. So again, from this, I'll get all my steps here. From 12 by 12 to cutting and folding to a completed mini album. And really that could be done in, I'm going to guess the actual mini album part, just creating it from start to finish, could probably be done in 10-15 minutes. You saw how quickly it came together. I had to do it a little bit more gluing. And that little cutie is ready to decorate and celebrate any of the occasions that you have coming up. I think this would be a great album to use for a winter celebration, whether it's Christmas or just winter holidays. It would be adorable for Thanksgiving. You could use part of the inside for journaling little things like what I'm thankful for, and then have a sweet little photo of the guest or person in your family who's writing the little quotes. So much fun. You guys, I bet you can come up with a lot of other ideas too. A baby book would be darling. That's the way we originally showcased this. A cute little baby book with all the little baby photos in, and then some little statistics and little facts about baby. Super cute. But again, share your ideas of what kind of mini album you would make. And again, 12 by 12 cardstock along with 8.5 by 11 and the matching ink pads, by the way, are on sale at Fun Stampers Journey through the month of September. So check it out, and if you have any questions, certainly visit us at our website. That's where you're going to want to connect with the Journey Coach and check out all the amazing product that we have, and that is at funstampersjourney.com. And you can see there how we help you bring paper to life.